Teresa van Lieshout. This is my personal YouTube broadcasting. Going to be doing a series of teaching about a practice which is, in my view, causing a lot of problems in our society, and that is the practice of psychiatry. Now, I'm an experienced teacher, experienced phys ed teacher, experienced health education teacher, physical education, health education, and I don't approve what they do. There's over 100 reasons why, and in the coming segments I'm going to be proving that psychiatry is a practice that is very dangerous and damaging, that it needs to be abolished, and essentially they are murderers and drug pushers, and they have murdered millions of people around the world. And we want to talk to the public, disclose information, well, not disclose, but tell the truth, to tell the truth and about what they do, and in particular this is affecting what they've done to my brother. This is David, and we want to name the 4 people that are responsible for this, and there's other people involved, which we'll be talking about as we go along. Lieshout is a psychiatrist in the Mead Centre in Armidale in Western Australia, and she is drugging my brother, and she's a criminal. J.A. Cheney, who is the President of the State Administrative Tribunal in Western Australia, he is corrupt, and he destroyed the statutory rights of my brother David, and he also destroyed the statutory rights of my family. And David's got 8 brothers and sisters, and for 12 months basically we filed reports, submissions, applications, letters, correspondence, and for 12 months he essentially just destroyed the rights of our family. And he is corrupt and he's cruel, and I'll continue to speak out about you, Cheney. And the fact is, you are corrupt, and you've destroyed the statutory human rights in thousands of people, hundreds of people, if not thousands over the years of people in a human rights tribunal, which you would think would be protecting the human rights of people, but you are actually destroying them. You're destroying these people's human rights, and you deserve to be exposed for what you are, a corrupt judge, and you are cruel. And you've deliberately done this, actively deliberately done this to my brother, David, and you've done this to my family. And I hope, at the very least, you lose your job, because that's what you deserve. Laurie Lehman Bybeck, Lehmanbybyk, public advocate. First thing she did was take David's licences off him, took his license off him, and it continues to allow him to be drugged with a chemical compound. First it was risperidone and venlafaxine, now it's some other drug which they're injecting him with, and they won't stop, despite my family's instructed them for over 12 months to stop drugging him, and they won't stop it. And they are drug pushers, and their treatments, they murder people with their treatments, and these drugs are made of chemical compounds, and that's all they're made of. There's no therapeutic or medicinal properties or nutritional properties in these drugs. They murder people with their treatments, and these drugs are dangerous, and they lead to death and premature death. And we want them to stop drugging David. And so she's cruel and she's corrupt. And the last one is Daniel Paulus, who is from the Public Trust. And the judge has done this, Cheney. He appointed a non-family guardian, and he put David under the public trust. And they're controlling millions of dollars of other people's money. This is a big corruption ring going on here because of the practice of psychiatry. It's not just their practices. The people that support the work of psychiatry are supporting the work of murder and corruption. And they are controlling millions of dollars of other people's money, and they're controlling $64,000 of David's money. They are controlling a $536 a week fortnight pension on top of that goes straight from Social Security to the Public Trust, on top of the $64,000 in a Westpac account, and which the bank has blocked because the Public Trust is controlling it. And they're forcing him to live on $200 a week in the hand. And they are corrupt as well. And we've told them to give David's money back. Repeatedly, my family has it in writing, orally, and we've said, stop controlling his life and controlling his money and give his money back to his own control. Here he is, sitting here. He used to have his own business. He had a truck licence, HR licence, C-class licence. They took it all off him. They've taken his car keys off him, and now he's trapped, and he can't go to the job that he had, and he's trapped in accommodation where they're drugging him. And it's absolutely criminal, and we've reported this matter to other authorities in Western Australia, and I'll be talking about that in future episodes. So, David, did you want to say something? It's your chance to say something now to the world. What do you want to say, Dave? What do you want? We've got much to say. Or have you given up? Do you feel like you're free? You do feel like you're free?
Sort of.
Well, what about your money? They're controlling all your money. How do you feel about that? Can you look after your own money? You manage your own money, okay. What about your licences, your truck licence, your HR licence, your C-class driver's licence? What about your driver's licence? Yeah, well, do you want your driver's licence back? Do you want them to give it back to you? He has a communication disability, okay. It doesn't mean he has to be drugged with chemical compounds and murdered and have everything taken away from him, and for his money to be controlled and his life to be controlled to the extent it's being controlled is slavery. And it's criminal what they're doing. It's absolutely criminal. What about the car? What about your car keys? Well, do you want them back? Do you want to be able to drive your car, David? They've taken everything from him, and the family has been fighting for him just to keep those things so he can have freedom. You know, do they expect that this is improving his life by taking everything from him and drugging him to death? You know, you can't even communicate properly anymore because they've been drugging him for 8 years with spirit and venlafaxine, now they're injecting him with something else. Those drugs result in death and premature death, and that's the truth. And you know, these people, these 4 people, are criminals, and I'm going to continue to expose what you're doing until you give it all back to him, because you are criminals and you don't have a right to this. Nobody has a right to do this to anybody. Nobody has a right. I don't care that he's a judge. He's nothing. He's a human being, and the person that's going to condemn him is God in heaven and Jesus Christ, and he will be judged by God in heaven. That's the judge in all this. You know, do they have the right to enforce slavery and control people's lives and drug people? They're murdering people, those psychiatrists. You go into a psychiatric hospital, prison, they're really psychiatric prisons, alive, and they come out dead. And we are sanctioning the work of murder. And I'm going to talk more about that